Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP. And yeah, I haven't been having a good week. I basically I saw a video yesterday that was about autistic social hangover, which is basically like a kind of mini burnout that you have after a social gathering. And yeah, I've been feeling tired all the time until today, Friday, from Sunday, but even before Sunday. I was feeling tired from Saturday all the way in, like for almost a whole week, 6 days, because of being super tired after a social event. So I went to Stockholm last weekend, met up with my ISFJ best friend, my INTJ friend, and another friend, I don't know what his type is. We all know each other from medical school. We ate at a vegetarian restaurant in Stockholm, and it was really nice, but there was a snowstorm, and basically also there was problems with the trains and such, so I ended up staying over at my ISFJ friend's house because it was cold and dark, and we ended up staying up late, and then I ended up taking the train back, and then when I came back home I kind of crashed, and then I guess that had I had a day free afterwards, maybe I would have just needed that day free and been energized for the rest of the week. But instead I kind of dragged on that tiredness day after day, and I just went to work and came back home from work and went to work and came back home. Then I tried to film yesterday, and then this guy from the rental union association came knocking on my door, which really messed up my plans. Which my plans were nothing except for making a video, and I couldn't even do that. Because the rental union association is a scam, okay? I'm all for unions, but not for the rental association union. They are awful. The Swedish Hyresgästföreningen. I will just tell you that I didn't let this guy talk to me, but you know, he rang on my doorbell at like 8 p.m. on a weekday, but I've had experience with a previous colleague of his, I guess, and like 2 years ago, and that guy actually said that I was stupid, like actually said that for not being part of the rental association union. And yeah, I think that they don't do much good work. I think that they are just after people's money, pretty much. So I got frustrated by that. And then there's this whole thing of me, unfortunately, getting into a depressive state where nothing really matters and where I feel like I have no energy. And on Thursday I somehow got a burst of energy, and then I used it all up on going on rabbit holes on online, and then it messed me up for this Friday. I went up like looking up CD-ROMs from the 1990s from my childhood, and like, you know, Windows 95 stuff, and yeah, that was a stupid use of my energy, but okay. And yeah, I haven't been able to do anything extra. I've been ruminating about 10,000 things, which I'll get to, but I realized that one such rumination kind of thing, or perseveration, or obsession, or whatever you want to call it, is I realized that it's become almost like a tic. And I guess trigger warning for those of you who are not who are concerned about death and suicide, but yeah, speed up for 1 minute from now, I guess. 6:10. I have this sentence in my head that's running that's like, I just say out loud, I want to die. And I just say it like neutral, no inflection on it or at all. Sometimes I end up saying it out loud in public, but nobody can hear, And then sometimes I move on to trying to deflect that kind of in a way by saying, not from anybody else, for myself, I kind of managed to keep it under control by saying, I want to kill someone. And I just say it. I'm just like, I want to kill someone. And I just go about my day. But that sentence comes a little bit too easily to my mind lately, which is concerning. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything about it, but, that thought shouldn't be there. But it is. So I try to make peace with it, but it's just like, I've gotten good over the years of just putting things aside. But I'm not feeling too good. It went really dark there. But I'm just saying that it's true that it's not like I don't know, I'm not depressed in, like, there are things that make me happy and that, but I guess that there was so little energy to do anything that my brain just went to like the easiest point, I guess, the point of least resistance. So I have to resist myself. And then there's this whole thing of that I think the same 50 thoughts over and over, and that's actually something that I saw in what's his name? Psychastral's video about INFPs. The INFPs will sometimes get stuck in a loop of the same 50 thoughts going around and around in your head and not being open to other perspectives and thoughts. And that's true to a certain degree, but I think I have it worse because I have autism, so it kind of makes me want to rehash the same things, overanalyze and overthink the same things again and again. And so if you've been on this channel for even just a few months, you'll know what the kinds of things that I'm talking about. So I'm talking about driving being a stress for me, and thinking about like, how am I going to plan that out, and then like totally giving up on that. Then there's the whole me planning my summer, and then there's the whole of my work situation and my autism diagnosis, and it's the same things over and over, and it's not interesting to talk about, so that's why I haven't really managed to say anything about it. But some new developments is that with the Trump administration and all that, I've got a new worry now, which is what am I going to do with the American banks? I have money in an American bank. I'm not going to go into more detail than that because that's sensitive information, but I do have money there, and it's like, I don't know if it's safe there. So, and it's also been since 2016 that I haven't been to the US, so I've been thinking, should I go to the US? But it won't be the same going to the US than before, because my uncle died, and so it won't be fun going there. It feels like it won't be fun, but also I feel kind of like a kind of obligation to my aunts that I haven't seen in ages, and to my cousins. At the same time, my mom doesn't know about my plans of maybe going to the US, so I don't know. And then also the fact that I can't drive, so I will have to Uber everywhere, which, isn't great. But it's almost like I'm worried that the US will get more and more difficult to fly to. I don't know what's going to happen, and I guess it's better sooner rather than later. But then I don't know about my boss, if he's going to give me holidays like I want. So, and I can't plan things. And so it's hard because I need to get like the okay from my boss to get this certain week free. But then like I need to buy the tickets. And it's like, I don't know which one to do first. And that's like executive dysfunction to the max. I don't know how to plan and organize things. Everything is just such a mess in my head. So that is an extra worry that has happened. Another extra worry that was actually a relief at first, but now is also a worry, is that my ESFP colleague who was going to get married actually is not going to get married, and also is going to, has broken up with her boyfriend and fiance of 8 years. So that kind of sucks. And also because I'm, my ESFP colleague is a headstrong personality, quite an impulsive person. But I thought that she had like made the calculations, before deciding to commit to, they bought a house together, and they have cats together, and they'd already started planning the wedding together. And now like none of that is happening. And yeah, so I'm not going to be going to a bachelorette party in Poland, which I'm glad for that. But it is kind of, I wonder if my ESFP colleague is going to stay in Sweden even, because she's not from Sweden originally. So I don't know, maybe, there are a few coworkers that I like hanging with, and she might be leaving, I guess, because of, she was in Sweden for love, and now that love is not there, which is she going to do, So that also kind of sucks. Also, for some reason, I kind of got to thinking about my ex-INFJ friend, which I hadn't been thinking about really for a while. But it's like, I don't know, once I got a certain thought in my head, it's just really hard to let go. And we were talking about it with my ISFJ friend, because he knows what the situation was, kind of. And, I've done stupid mistakes and all that, and there are regrets, I guess, I have. But it is still very confusing to me in my head, and I still don't have closure, and I never will. And it's hard for me to make sense of that and to come to terms with that like, okay, it's done, and it was maybe for the best that we weren't still friends, but I just felt like I've lost something so humongous to my life. And yeah, it feels like it's always going to affect me, because now it's been 2 years and my brain hasn't been able to move on, I guess. And I think that I talked to my ISFJ friend about certain things that I hadn't mentioned to anyone before, and I won't be mentioning here either. But these things, I felt like I needed to say them, because I can't even tell my therapist about certain things. Yeah, and also I just called my health clinic, and I found out that my psychologist is on sick leave. So that's why he hasn't called me. He was supposed to call me in January. So I called my doctor, because I'm thinking of maybe myself getting a sick leave, but only for the dates where I have this autism course that teaches about autism in May. I have this course that I went to do that is highly recommended that I do, but so I went, and that's why I called my doctor. And then I said, yeah, my psychologist hasn't called me. He was supposed to call me in January. And she says, yeah, he's actually on sick leave. And I'm like, okay, so what do I do if my psychologist is on sick leave and there's nobody to replace him? And then, he's not even good, you know? And meanwhile, my ISFJ friend has actually been going to therapy, which is a great thing, I guess. He's had a great experience, which I'm glad. I feel like I'm not having a good experience. Maybe it's because of my autism, but it really sucks when you can't seem to find the right therapist, and then you find the right therapist, but it's the right therapist I found was through my company healthcare, which I can't access on my own. I need my boss's approval. So yeah, I wish I could like meet that therapist privately and do that, but he doesn't work that way. So yeah, instead I'm stuck with this therapist that doesn't lead me anywhere and who now is on sick leave, so I probably won't meet for another few months. So yeah, it's very confusing for me because I've been coupled to the company healthcare, to my regular health clinic. Then I've been connected to the neuro rehab place that does the autism courses and that. And then there was also that place where I did the assessment, which is a totally different place that I'm not going to be having contact with anymore. So, and it's like, where do I go? I'm lost, you know, and nobody really knows because there isn't a system for this. They haven't figured this out yet. So it does feel like I'm kind of lost in the healthcare void. And it's awful because I'm the kind of person who has a hard time with, that's my main problem, is that I have a hard time making goals and committing and following through with the goals and organizing and structuring and doing all the executive functioning things. And I need executive function to be able to get executive function through the healthcare system. So because what I want and what I need is I need to go through some kind of therapy, and I need to get, or at least this is what I feel, and to have a occupational therapist help me out with these kinds of organizational things. That's what I need. But I'm not getting any of those things. And what I'm getting is instead like a course, an introduction course on learning about autism in a group. And I'm getting, well, no therapy, and I'm getting a doctor who might help me with some like preventative sick leave, I guess, but who is not giving me a regular sick leave. And yeah, there are a lot of things that I'm not asking for much, but it seems like apparently it is asking for too much because nobody knows what to do with autism. So yeah, and it's very, very messy in my brain right now because I don't know what to do, what to focus on. There is so much and everything is contingent on something else, and it's like I need to decide about my holidays, and I can't decide because I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I know that I want to go to France during August, but then my parents say that they want to come to Sweden in August to visit me, and it's like, yeah, but then I have another wedding. Well, I have an actual wedding in France to go to, and I can't seem to plan a holiday, you know. And then like I'm procrastinating starting up with the driving again because it's such a organizational mess. And then, then I'm very worried about my medicine placement that's coming in the autumn, and I feel like I won't be able to do anything else apart from work, because during the medicine semester, which is 6 months, there seems to be a lot of favoritism. There seems to be a lot of bad culture at that place. it seems to be that you have to work night shifts, which are hell on earth for me. It seems like I will have to, be on call and take a lot of responsibility, be there for, if the heart stops on the patient, I have to be like first there and all that. That's like my worst nightmare, and I know that I will burn out. I know. And it's like, I don't think I have to go through that in order to be a good general practice doctor. I don't need to be able to manage a hospital case, but apparently I do. And yeah, it really sucks. And it kind of feels like that's my death date is in September 2025, it feels like that. And that's why it kind of messes up with my brain totally, and so I almost have to ignore the fact that I'm going to be completely occupied this autumn and pretend that time does not exist and that it's not moving steadily forward towards that in order to just manage. Because on the surface, it seems like my life is going great right now. It is, it's going great. I'm at the work and it seems it's fun. I'm at the gynecology and everybody's nice, and I'm living, and spring is coming and everything. But there is so much that is coming and that is scaring me. And they're going to do an evaluation of me in the beginning of March. Then I have to do my own evaluation of myself together with my new supervisor in May. And then in May as well, I need to be evaluated again and like film myself with patients. And yeah, it's just a lot, and I don't know what to do because it's overwhelming. So yeah, I'm not doing good, and I can just like live day for day, but like I can do that, but then it just comes to bite me in the face. I guess like it makes, like if I don't anytime I do something fun, it seems like I need to pay for it by taking it very, like doing nothing for several days afterwards. I was trying to explain this to my ISFJ friend, and he got sad because he was like, he said that that's not good if like going to see us makes you really tired afterwards. And I'm like, that's just how I've always been. It's like you haven't been realizing that this is how it always is. And that is what the social hangover is. It's like it's like being hungover but without the alcohol. And so, and I might have enjoyed the time together, but it's not like I'm, I have to plan accordingly. I can't like just be as normal the day after, and maybe not even the day after that, and maybe not even the day after that, and I think it's hard for somebody who doesn't have to deal with their energy all the time to understand how much energy is being put just to do regular things. And so, yeah, I got burnout or social hangover from a meeting that we had on Saturday, and it lasted all the way until Thursday, pretty much, until I finally got energy again to do a few things, and by a few things I mean like, going to shop for groceries and shower and do the dishes. You know, I can do one of those things maybe every day. I can choose between these things, you know, but if I'm tired, I can't do more than one of these things. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I have supposedly level 1 high functioning autism, but it's like, this is really disabling, you know? And I think people don't understand that. I mean, I didn't understand this until I had my autism diagnosis. But I was just there sitting confused, like, why am I so tired all the time? Yeah. It's like, I do one thing, and I know that these things are good for me in terms of social anxiety, in terms of depression. It's good to socialize with people and do these things that are a little bit fun. It's good to do my chores so that it's better for me in the future, you know? But you have to invest a certain amount of energy in order to get the energy back. And sometimes I don't even have that energy to invest, you know? It's like, you know, somebody who's super burnt out and telling them, oh, a run for 5 minutes. And it's like, they don't even have the energy to do that run. Even if the energy that they'll get after the run will be much more than what they have to invest, they won't be able to invest that 5 minutes of running, you know? And that's how I felt. And yeah, so it's been a lot, and I don't really know where I'm going and what's going on. I feel pretty low, and I'm doing a lot of good things, and I'm trying and stuff, but it's been going lousily. So that's where we're going to end it. Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe making a video a little bit more about what social anxiety stops me from doing, and then maybe a video about my digital introduction to autism, as I will lose access to it now that's been more than a month. I'm glad that my ISFJ friend actually went through a little bit of that digital course, because he's starting, like, it's really big of him to actually do that and not just dismiss it entirely. So there's that. Then yeah, it's nice to have friends who care. I also have a supervisor. My new supervisor cares. His wife works at the gynecology place where I work, so that's a little bit weird. And also my own doctor is the wife of the supervisor that I had during my geriatrics placements. So it's like everybody knows everybody, and it's terrible. You know, it's difficult to navigate these kinds of weird situations. But I'm doing it, you know, and I'm trying to go on, you know, walks, and I'm trying to get myself back into reading books, which is hard. I actually bought a book here, which kind of has a glossy cover, like a little bit like a shimmery cover, and it's actually Shakespeare's sonnets. So we'll see if I get into that. It's just hard for me to read books, but I have like 7 hours left on my audiobook, which I need to use before the end of the month. So I don't know. And then there's also the fact that there are courses that I want to take, but I can't decide, I can't choose, and so I won't be doing any of them, I guess. But sometimes I just get so overwhelmed I just don't do anything. So that's all for today. Have a great day. Bye.